Hey everybody, this is the Esoteric Cross. I make videos about how to gain your personal power while learning ancient secrets, and if that sounds like something that you're into, please hit the like button and subscribe, and gain insight from this perspective in the cosmos. In this video, we're going to dive into the topic of studying tarot with Kabbalah. I've talked a lot on this channel about the relationship between Kabbalah and tarot, and this is going to be a bit more of a continuation to this topic. Kabbalah is this ancient form of Jewish mysticism that involves this diagram called the Tree of Life. This tree has 10 spheres called Sephirot. It contains a hidden sphere called Da'ath, which means knowledge, and also could be called the Abyss. It also contains 4 worlds, and each world is said to contain another Tree of Life. Understanding Kabbalah can be a lifelong journey, and there are several ways to look at, study, and use this tree. I often say that this is a map of divinity, a map to divinity, and it is the blueprint of creation. The roots are at the top of the tree, the sphere called Kether, which represents the source of consciousness. The fruit of the tree is at the bottom called Malkuth, which would describe anything that is in the 3D physical reality. The fruit contains the seeds to make another tree. So this means that we, being made in the image of our Creator, have the innate ability and desire to create. When we are studying tarot with Kabbalah, it is so important to understand the basic meanings of each sphere so that we are able to relate the cards to them. It is pretty easy to know which cards are related to which spheres because they are numbered the same way. Card 1, the Magician, will correspond to the first sphere, Kether. Card 2, the High Priestess, will correspond to the second sphere, Hakma. Card 0, the Fool, corresponds to the Abyss, Da'ath. After we reach 10, the Wheel of Fortune, the process starts over again with Justice, card 11, corresponding with Kether again. When we view the tarot in this way, we unlock a whole new world of understanding these cards. Remember, there are 4 worlds of Kabbalah, with each one containing its own tree. Each world is corresponding to a suit in tarot, and the cards labeled 1 through 10 are the spheres of that tree. When we get into discussing the 4 types of court cards, we are also talking about the 4 worlds. But each one is also corresponding to a specific sphere on that tree. I have a specific way of remembering the court cards, and you can click the top right corner of the screen to check out my video on the court cards. Each world of Kabbalah is detailed with such rich symbolism shown by the cards within each suit of Kabbalah. But what really is the point of these cards and their relationships with the Qabalistic Tree of Life? The answer lies within Magick. Really, the path within ceremonial magic. Like the Order of the Golden Dawn, which is what birthed the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. These cards were designed for an initiate to work with along their journey. Within the path of ceremonial magic, the elements are worked with first, and then moving on to planetary energies also described by the spheres along the Kabbalistic Tree of Life. You see, when you are practicing ceremonial magic, the Tree of Life becomes your best friend as you are learning how to practically work with each of these spheres. But you also understand that each sphere represents a new level of initiation and understanding. When you understand the tree, the path within magic, and the tarot, and combine these traditions together, you can uncover a lot more about your inner workings. The minor arcana shows us the small details of the path within magic, and it also shows us the elemental work. On the other side of this, the major arcana reveals the big secrets within this path and shows us the larger aspects of the journey to completing the great work. There are 22 cards within the major arcana, and with there being 10 spheres on the Tree of Life, and 11 if we include the hidden sphere called Da'ath, then we are able to place these cards over the tree twice. In the first tree, we can view this going from card 1, the Magician, to card 10, the Wheel of Fortune. But we can also view this path going from the Wheel of Fortune to the Magician if we're talking about transcending the tree. Viewing it this way will show you so much more about each card and also the hidden advice that it might be telling you. For example, let's take a look at the Chariot. Ascending the tree, it comes after the Strength card, and descending the tree, which would indicate creation or manifestation, it comes after the Lovers. The Chariot is placed on the masculine pillar of the tree, which represents external energy or even active energy. The Chariot is also corresponding to Netzach on the Tree of Life, the sphere that highlights our emotions, love, and motivations. When we put all of this together, we can see some very strong themes. The Chariot is stuck, and it moves forward with the will. There's something here to do, There's something that the chariot cares about, and this is what is pushing the cart forward. Coming after the lovers, this shows the balance of the masculine and the feminine principles. Getting to the heart of something, shining the light of awareness onto something. The truth has been found. But it is here that we need to really find that motivation and reason to push forward. Netzach is the sphere that can really bring this motivation out based off of our emotional ties. When ascending the tree, we experience the chariot after the strength card. Strength showed us more about developing this inner state of strength as we are learning to observe this inner world and our internal reactions to life around us. We have been learning to tame the beast and have it work for us rather than against us. We now are learning to externalize this energy with the chariot. The chariot being on the external and action side of the tree will reflect the advice that needs to be given, which is centered around taking action. By the way, if you want to learn more about how this works, make sure to check out my tarot course, which starts on January 14th. The link is in the description below if you're interested. In addition to there being 22 cards in the major arcana, you may also notice that there are 22 paths along this Kabbalistic Tree of Life connecting the spheres to each other. Talking about the paths is something that we'll be discussing more in future videos, but this is more complicated and I definitely think it requires the strong foundation of understanding the spheres themselves first. Each path along the tree is associated with an astrological aspect, a tarot card, and a letter of the Hebrew alphabet. For example, we could take a look at the card labeled 1, the Magician. This path runs between Kether and Binah. Kether represents the awareness, the source consciousness, the I am principle. Binah represents the first sphere of form, the great mother of creation, and the first sphere along the feminine pillar. This takes in the masculine principle and creates the structure for reality. We can now see more about the magician as it's creating actual physical creations with the power of his awareness. Using source consciousness to create structures and manifest in the physical realm. Now the astrological correspondence to this path is Mercury. The magician is representing mercurial energies, which are the energies of the mind and communication. It becomes even more interesting when you look more into Mercury and how it also represents the ruler over magic. So we're talking about the quote-unquote messenger of the gods, the communication aspect of consciousness, magic, and the power of the mind. The Hebrew letter that corresponds to the magician is Beth, which means house. This is giving us more insight into the significance of what the magician really is. This will reveal that the magician is creating reality with the mind, and it does this by focusing. Whatever you're looking at right now, it is being housed in your mind and it is growing a garden of manifestation. If you stop and meditate on a flower, what you're doing is housing that flower within your consciousness, and that is feeding it life force energy. When you watch a TV show, you are housing that within your consciousness. When you read a book, you are housing those words within your consciousness, and it grows a garden where the attention is flowing. This is how real magic works. This is also how much larger scale rituals work, because if we have so many people feeding an idea, an event, or a person with our life force energy, our attention, then we are growing this garden there, giving it power. A master magician knows how to direct attention and life force energy where they need it to go. Make sure to check out the link in the description below to see what courses I offer, like the tarot course, which takes a look at these cards with the Kabbalistic Tree of Life, which is something that most courses in tarot don't offer. And if you want to work one-on-one with me, I do offer coaching as well. There are links in the description to this as well as to where you can book a tarot reading with me, and I also have the link to my Patreon if you're interested in some live streams. I hope there was something new that you were able to take away from this video. If so, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe for more content. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.